pockets. Offensive security. Yeah, all OffSec, yeah man, I'm gonna tell him say, offensive security, All OffSec, them are the very best. Yeah man, All OffSec for penetration test. Penetration, yeah. Who's OffSec? Go educate the rest. We call the expert DV online training OffSec. Room for Miss Howes. You must try harder to keep up the pace.
Hello, everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry, we had a bit of technical delay, but we are finally able to start the session. Welcome to our OffSec live session. I'm Kanika. I'm OSCP certified pen tester, and I'm also OffSec ambassador. In today's session, we will be, just a second, sorry. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, am I? Okay. So I hope you all can hear me and see my screen. If you guys have missed something, I'll just do a quick recap. I first did the port scan, and in port scan, this is my port scan result. We found two ports, 80 and 22. And from port 80, we learned we have a GitLab site, we have this URL. We also have the robots.txt for this. So now we are doing the automated recon using Derby, as well as we are doing the manual recon.
penetration test. Who's OffSec? Go educate the rest. We call the expert deviant and training OffSec. Room for me, so it's. You must try harder to keep up the pace. Otherwise, you will be a big disgrace. Tell the competition them to take a rest. OffSec run the game. Let me suggest the game run the Wild West. OSCP and OSCE. OSCP and OSCE, OSWP and OSAA. OffSec opponent like lion phone Serengeti, and I turn them fire.
Hey guys, sorry about that. We again froze. Hope you are able to hear me and see my screen now. So again, I was updating my notes while we were gone, and here is what I have. We have 2 wins as of now. We know this, and we know there is user enumeration possible. And administrator is one of the users that we have found. Okay. So we were going to look into these endpoints, some of these endpoints where we start, and we were about to check webmaster. Let's check this. So it seems webmaster is yet another user. Based on this, webmaster is yet another user. So let's go to this page and let's try if webmaster exists. It says it exists. Username is already taken. So this is good thing. Now let's log in as webmaster. How we can log in? We don't know the password. So in that case, we are going to do the password guessing. There is one lazy practice which people follow. People keep the password same as the username. So let's try our luck with that. So webmaster is what I've supplied in the password, and let's see if we can log in. So screen change a bit. We are now logged in as webmaster user. So this is one of the wins for us. Because the application we're using weak credentials, we could log in as into the application. So we'll explore the pages now after logging in. Do we see any projects, any groups? No. There is no group. Then there is this one. Let's check what this is. Okay, it seems I need to have access to this. So I'm going to copy this URL and going to keep it in my notes. So I'll be here logged in as webmaster. Sorry. And we can also try doing SSH because SSH service is available. These two are dealing with the username enumeration. I think we already did that. So I'm going to ignore these for now. And the top three are what are looking interesting because these are remote code execution. So maybe among these, this is what is looking as closest match to our version. So I'm going to prioritize these, but I will store the searchploit output in my notes. Okay, so now I'm going to look for the exploit. So I will go to exploit DB And in exploit DB, I'm going to search for the exploit. I will open the exploit so that I can read it properly. Okay. Exploit. Okay. So if you can see here, here it is in the environment, which is similar to what we have. There is no CVE attached to it. There is a HackerOne report available. Now let's read the code. We read the code for two reasons. One, we want to avoid if there are any malicious code in this. That is something we want to check. And number two, we want to understand where all in this code we have to do any changes if necessary. So it takes 4 parameters, which is okay. First step, it is authenticating. It's logging in to the GitLab webpage. Then after that, it seems it's creating a new project. And then once it creates the new project after logging in, it seems they are cloning the repository. So they clone the repository, and in our system, the place where we are running this exploit, that is our Kali, there in the temp directory, a project directory will be created where the cloned code will be kept. And it is writing 2 files. One is this load 1, another is load 2. And it's writing probably some Ruby code in that. And then it's doing the git push. It's committing those 2 files, and there's cleanup operation involved, and the RCE is being triggered by this, accessing this unit. So it looks safe to run. So let's try it out. So I will again use search exploit. I'll copy the exploit 49904. That was the code. 1 second, let me check. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot. Of username is one of the parameter. And we have credentials for webmaster, so we'll type that. And the target is and then comes the command. Now we would like to launch a reverse shell. So let me also have a reverse shell window open here. And repeat. I will do it at port 443. So I'm listening at port 443. And let's put the reverse shell command. My IP address. Okay, I have the command ready. I'll just paste it on the screen. So I'm going to use bash to start a TCP connection. This is the IP address of my Kali machine. You can see here. And I wanted to connect to port 443. Okay, something messed up. Okay. Right. So that's what the command is about. So we are launching a reverse shell. Now let's start. Okay. As you see, it has created the files. It says on the screen. Let's check. We see we have the project temp project directory there. It's asking for credentials, so let's give it that. Okay, it seems RCV has been triggered. So let's check on the reverse shell window. Yes, we got the reverse shell. So we have now access to the box. We use the web applications exploit, and we are now in the reverse shell. We got access to the box. We have the terminal access to the box. Okay. Let me just check if we have TTY. We don't have TTY, so let's set this up so that we can type the commands properly. I will again use Python to spawn a TTY. And then I will also set this. And I'm also going to do one more thing. Export. Okay, so that it will be easier for us. Okay, now moving on, let's try to find out things on this mode. So who we are Git user belonging to Git group. Okay, where are we? We are in this working directory. Okay, let's have an LA. There is nothing here. Let's do IPA. We want to try get our IP address. We don't find it. ifconfig. We don't find it. Okay. There is something weird about this shell. Either it is restricted or maybe path is not properly set. So let's check environment. So these are the environment variable which are set for this user. If you see on the top, we have home, which is pointing to this var opt gitlab. Now, we did not see any local.txt, so maybe we can try finding it in this home directory. So let's run the find command and see if we can find one. There are no results. So seems this is not working. Okay. We don't have local.txt over here in this path. That's what it means. Okay, so what else we can do? Let's check for all the directories it has. We start with the root. Now, inside the root, what do you see? We see one odd file called docker.dockerenv. What does this file mean? So we can just copy this file and go to Google and ask. So we'll see. Is there any other way we can confirm that we are in Docker? So we can check that. We'll check how to check if we are in a Docker in Linux. So one is this that we already saw, and they are saying to grep Docker in this file. So we can do that. Let's try that. Or even this one. Okay. There are multiple ways. So let's try one of them as well. We will do grep. We'll do lowercase for now. See this? So we see there is the word Docker inside this prop1c group file, and there is this identifier. So this is containers identifier. We are inside a Docker container. We have now confirmed it. Okay, so let's move on. Now, in order to pawn this box, we need to come out of the container. That is important. So we have to find a way to come out of it. Let's check with the other directories. Let's do further checking. Okay, and we were told, okay, this is the whole directory, right? Let's first go for the var. Okay, in var, I see another backups directory. I'm usually interested in checking what's there in the backup directory. So let's quickly check that. There is nothing, okay. Another thing interesting in var is usually the log files. So let's check the log files quickly. Okay, we are running GitLab applications. So my assumption is most of the good logs that are useful for us are probably going in the GitLab directory. So I'm going to check var log GitLab. Seems Git user has access in this directory. The Git user can probably read or write. Let's check if we can write into this directory. So I'm going to run simple touch command. I'm going to copy this and let's see where our user Git can write. Okay. And let's do Git align. So it seems we can write into this directory. We have write access. So we will again put this in our node. We have a writable directory found as this one. Yes, absolutely. I'm seeing someone has raised a question like try container escape to increase your privileges. We can try that. That is one possibility. Yes. And we also found the log files are in this directory. I'm just updating my notes really quickly. We already checked var. This one we have already checked. And we also found the .docker file as well. So we can maybe make note of it. There's no C drive. So in this directory, we found .docker env. So yeah, so we'll continue with our search further. Let's see. Let's again go to var. Okay, so we checked backups and logs. Let's go into opt. This was also, I'm also interested in this because this was part of the home directory in the environment variable. Okay. Okay, so what I meant was if you do this, you should probably land here. Okay, so this is our home directory and we could not find local.txt in it. Let's see if we have something interesting here. Again, backup catches my attention. Anything with the backups catches my attention. So let's do that. And this -lar, var, or rather, home. Let's try backups. Okay. So here we see an interesting file. It says my key. Just copy it. Okay, I have started my Python web server. Let's go here, and I'm going to copy the file. So I'm going to say composing command. Okay, this is my command. Okay, so I have the path for the my key file, and here is the IP address of the Kali. Let's run it. So seems we got the bit, and let's check. We have the my key file. Okay, we can double verify this my key file. It's the same OpenSSH key. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this key into RSA key. This is OpenSSH key. I'm going to make it into RSA key. Why I'm doing it? This is because if the key is built with any, if it has any comments, then those comments are not easily visible in OpenSSH. But if I convert it into RSA key, there is a probability I may see the comments. So let's try that. Okay, so here we have a comment which says Koran @breakout. What is Koran? It can be a user, but we did not see anyone with that name. Let me copy that. We have a mechanism to look for the users. So let's try that out. I go to the sign up page, and here I put the Koran. Oops. I'll just type it. The username is already taken. So this validates that there is a user named Koran. Okay, but why the username Koran has a private key? We don't know, but this is all we got. So let's try to log in as Koran. We can make use of the SSH. So let's do the SSH. Koran $IP. Okay, I did not set the variable. Let me just do that. That makes life easy. This is the IP address of the breakout box, and run it. You can also try using this key to, for other users, maybe root user or webmaster user. You can always try. I'm wondering why it is taking so much of time. Okay, is my IP address correct? Let's check. Let's quickly check. My IP address is wrong. Sorry about that. 135.82. Okay, I'll fix this. Okay, right. Yeah, we are in. So now we are logged in as Koran user. Okay, let's check. ID, our group, IPA. We have it. Let's check where we are. We are in the home directory of our user Koran. Okay, that's good. Let's check what we have. We have local.txt. So we got our first flag. That's great. We got our first flag. So from the webmaster user, we got a reverse shell, which led us to the user Git. And from the Git user, we got the key. And now we are the user Koran in the box. Okay. But are we still in the container? Let's check that. So for checking that, like we first checked, we should be checking for the .docker env file. Let's check that in the root. No, we don't have. Another check that we can do was let's check for the CG proc. So let me just print the CG proc here. CG group proc, sorry, proc1 group CG. CG groups, I'm sorry. I cannot do zero. So what else can I do? Let's try to find out how the files are. Again, let me first check through. Okay, let me first go to OPT directory. Okay, again, we have backups. So backups has something. Let's check. I find the script and notice the file log_backup.zip. Today is 20 March and it says 20 March. Okay, let's check the date on this box is also 20 March. Okay, and it says 204 and this time also matches. So I have a hunch that this is probably getting updated frequently. Before we check that, let's check what is in the backup script. So let's get that. Okay, so our backup script here is having a zip command, which is running with -r, which means it is recursively going inside this directory. So it is navigating even through all the directories which are present inside this. And within each directory, it is looking for the file, and whatever files it finds, it puts that in this zip. And this is nothing but this like log files. Let me do ls-lh again. Oh, sorry. I need to do that in the same directory. Okay. So earlier the timestamp was 0204. Now it is 0205. So that means this is probably getting updated. So let's check if we can find a process that is running this backup.sh script. So let's grab. We don't find anything. Okay, so let's see if any of the command which is present in, I'm sorry about this, in this script gets executed. So we will grep for this. Okay, there is nothing. Can we do something better? Because this is getting updated once in every minute or so. That's the assumption based on these timestamps. That's the assumption. So can we do something better? Okay, so I'm going to try out an infinite while loop running this command and see what I get. So let me put that command. 1 second. So while true means it's infinite, and in the do statement, I am running the greps, the ps elf with grep, and that's all. I'm saying it's done. Now this is a lot of output. Let me optimize this command. So I am saying do not print -v color equals to auto. Do not print that. So one possibility is there is a cron job that is running, and it is running this a backup.sh, which then invokes this zip command. That is one possibility. And one good tool to identify these type of things is process spy, p-spy. Okay, we got some output. So as you see here, this command is being executed. And this zip is getting updated, and everything that is present in serve log, all the directories or files, these are coming inside the zip. Okay, so that's good. Let's also validate this using the process spy tool. So I'm going to copy this process spy tool into this box. Let's just do that. Place it from here. Okay. So this is process by binary I have in my Kali. I just transferred it to the user for Quran. And let me see here. I got this process by. If any file is changing, list that as well. -I indicates the scan interval and it is in milliseconds. So this is almost 1 second. And here I'm grepping for something with a UID equals to 0. So I'm looking for things which are being executed by root. Okay, let's run this. It takes a little time, so we have to be very patient. Okay, let's follow up if we found something that went up. Okay, that was too much. I don't know if I have missed it. Maybe we can just wait for the fresh output. I'll just rerun it. So this is taking a little bit of time, but that is how dealing with cron job is. So if you see here, right on our screen, there was a cron job which came into action. It was with a UID of 0. And then with that, we also see this coming up. So our zip command is also being executed with a UID of 0. So this confirms that we have a cron job. And this backup is periodically getting updated. And whatever is in this directory, that is getting updated. So let's go back. Let's see what we have in this directory. Okay. One thing that I see here very clearly is most likely I do not have any kind of access inside this directories or the subdirectories inside this directory because it's saying for the user LXD or root. So based on this permission, it looks like that. We can always try. So let's say if I do this, I don't. As this was expected. Now, LXD also implies that probably this is associated with container. So let's check if our container, we have a user in container, which is our Git user. So let's see if our Git user has access to this directory. Okay, here what I see, everything is empty. The Git user do not have the same directory structure as we have. So what do we do now? What else do we have? Let's get back to our script. OPT, backups, and backup.sh. Okay, so I'll just do this. We have the zip file. Now, based on these permissions, most likely I can read inside the zip file. Maybe I can unzip it. So in my current home directory, I'm going to create another directory and I'm going to unzip this. So we are inside the Quran user, and now let's try to unzip this. Let me put the proper path. Okay, so it seems like we could unzip. It worked, most likely. And this is something interesting. Uh, if you remember, when we were doing the recon as our initial user, and we were a Git user, we found this as a writable directory, and we created the file named hello. And I see that file here. Okay, so let's see if this file is not zero. Let's see that. I mean, yeah, it was the file of size 0 because we did not write it, but is it still there? It is still there. So are there any other files in that directory which are of size non-zero? Okay, we have this. And we can compare this with. So what we can do, we know there is a zip command which is getting executed, and that zip command is having uh, a wildcard in it. So git ops backups backup.sh. So it has a wildcard in it. So anything that is there is being zipped into this, and this is being run by root. So, and also we know our Git user can write into that directory. So what we can do, how zip is treating the symbolic link. Any idea on that? So let's do a bit of Google search on how zip works with the how zip handles symbolic link in Linux. Okay, handle symbolic link in one of the two ways. So by default, it includes the target file content, or with a specific flag -y, it preserves the link itself. So default behavior dereferencing. It means that it follows the link to the original file and directory it points and adds that to the actual content of the archive. It doesn't preserve the link. If you want to preserve the link, you have to use -y option. Okay, that's great. So we can then abuse this zip. What we are going to do is, as the user git, I'm going to create a new symbolic link. And I'm going to create it inside this directory. Sorry. I'm going to point whatever is in the root directory that should come in my root directory. So this is the symbolic link. Whatever is in the root, it should come in this. So because the Git user has write access in this directory, this should work. And we can check this. Okay, so my root is the symbolic link pointing to the root directory. Now let's go back to our this thing. Right now, time is this. So let's see if our zip is updated. Okay, this is 218. I'll just wait for a few more seconds, and then we will again unzip this log file. So we are currently in Quran's home. Okay. And we created this at 2017. So ideally it should have been there, but it's better to wait. Let's check if this got updated. Okay, it has been updated. So let's try our luck. Unzip. That's interesting. We have this root directory. Let's go inside. This is our directory that we created. Let's check inside .ssh. And I think you can see this proof.txt, which is another indicator that probably we got the data from the directory. Okay, and let's check. This is again the OpenSSH private key. So probably we can use this key to log in as root. That's a hunch. Let's go and check it. So I'm going to copy that file here. Okay, I think something is wrong. Okay. Yeah, my path is incorrect. Let me fix that. IP, which is the IP address of the breakout. Okay. Okay, I'm not able to see because of, okay, we are in the root. Sorry, the root word was blocked by pop-up. Okay, so we are now root. That's a good thing. We have on the box. Okay, we have the IP address, and let's go for our proof. So here you go. You have gained the 20 points. You are now, you own this server called Breakout. You entered via web, and you are now in the box. Let's do a quick recap of what we did. Let me clear my screen. So today we learn how from a web applications, which is a vulnerable instance of GitLab, how we can enumerate that, how we can perform the user enumeration, we can look for the weak password, and finally execute the remote code, which results into a reverse shell. We also learned how to identify if we are in a Docker container. We learned how to convert OpenSSH private key into RSA private key. Also, we learned how to identify cron job. We did quite a few things for that. Then we finally abused the zip. The zip has default behavior. It reads the file before it zips them if they are in the symbolic link. So that's what we abused it. So I have some homework for you. I suggest there were some username enumeration exploit given by Searchsploit. Please run those. Also, I did not run linpiece. I suggest you run it. You will be surprised what you find. We found Koran user because we saw the comment in the SSH private key. But is there any other way to find it? The answer lies in GitLab API, so I suggest you check that as well. And also you can use watch command to detect a cron job. How you have to do it, that's in homework. So here are some of the tips that I have for OSCP. OSCP is tough exam. Being there in front of screen for 24 plus 24 hours is hard. But do not panic, be organized. Also, build some automation tools, and automations are not that hard. You can build simple automations using shell script and aliases. These saves time. These help in avoiding any errors that are possible because of exhaustion or human mistakes, typos. Also, for doing same thing, always learn multiple tools and commands. Like today's session, you might have seen I've used multiple approaches to detect if it is a cron job or if it is a Docker. Also, when you see a lot of attack paths, you have to prioritize things. And one way to prioritize them is start doing the simple things first. That's the easiest way to prioritize tasks. Also, make your own notes. This is essential. Why? Because you know yourself better. You know your mistakes. You know how you debug things. So in your notes, all these things should be covered. This will help you in long run. Thank you for attending today. We now have a flash quiz. Maybe we have 3 questions in the flash quiz. Yeah. Okay, so which one of these is an example of weak password? You can see the question on the screen. Please type in fastest finger with the correct answer wins. Okay, someone said A. Yeah, VK Jain 1013. You are one of the winner. Okay. Okay, we have one more winner from Twitch. Anchal Juan. Sorry, I may not be able to pronounce your name, but yeah, you have the correct option is A. Yeah. Let's move on to the next question. So we used multiple methods to enumerate, to figure out whether this is a container. So what is the right way to find out we are in a container? Okay, EXO 3805. You have answered two given options you have given, A and C. Okay, do we have any other? Select the most appropriate. So one thing, you can message Yang Yang on OffSec Discord to claim your prize. All the YouTube users, you can use OffSec Discord, and you can ping Yang Yang to claim the prize. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, so it seems we have nobody from Twitch is answering the question. This is something we did. Okay, so we have one winner, underscore EXO3805. Please message Yang Yang in OffSec Discord for your winner. We can proceed for the next question. So answer is presence of the Docker file in root, and presence of Docker word in proc1/c group.